Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Amanda Ditlinger. This precious girl is my kitty cat, Magic Annabelle. I have a couple of neurodivergencies. I have aphantasia, which is the inability to visualize in your mind's eye. You can find out more about that here. I also have SDAM, which stands for Severely Deficient Autobiographical Memory. Here's a video on that. And I am also on the journey or path or whatever you want to call it to find out if I'm actually autistic. So I have a video on that too. But as I was going through the process of getting my kids diagnosed with autism, I started to learn a lot more about what the traits of autism actually are. And I realized I had so many of them. And it's not just what the media portrays, which, should have realized that. So I have a list. It's now up to like 65 items of why I might be autistic. And so I'm going to go over 5 of them today, because if I went over 65 right now, it'd be really, really long. These are in no particular order. They have just seriously, as they've come across my mind or my research, I've just been writing them down. So the first one is repeating phrases without realizing it. Hold on, my cat Echo wants it. This black void is Echo. Okay, you don't want to be held, you just wanted the door open. Maybe censor yourself, buddy. Okay, so repeating phrases without realizing it. So this is found out that is fairly common in autistic people. So when I'm hungry, I don't realize it, but I'll say, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And I will repeat that over and over. And then I'll finally hear myself and I'm like, I'm sorry, I said it again, but I'm hungry. And there's lots of times that I've done this my entire life and just didn't know that it could be an autistic trait. I'm going to stop really quick and remind you of 2 things. One, I am not a medical professional. Do not use any of this as diagnostic tools. This is just my research. And you can have some of the traits of autism, because a lot of people have these traits. It doesn't mean you're autistic. It's like when you start having more and more and more of these traits, then you might be autistic. Hey, Echo, no. Okay. The second one is the eye contact one. I've heard about that one. It's a very common thing that you hear about autistic people. Well, I always thought I was okay with eye contact, but when I actually start to look at it, I realized that I'll look at people really quickly in the eye, and then I want to look away. And when I'm having very intense conversations, I tend to cover my face up. So it's not really avoiding eye contact, but it's like I want to hide my own self as I'm talking. So if I'm out to dinner with a friend, often if I'm saying something that feels a little bit more vulnerable, because I'm a very open person, as you can see from this vlog, but even open people kind of have times when they feel more vulnerable, and I will talk with my hands like covering my face, almost just as a protective manner. And then the other thing is I will overdo the eye contact. I will stare you down into your soul as I'm talking to you, especially if I'm getting really, really, really intense and really want to convey a point that I'm trying to get across. I will talk without blinking and just stare you down. And I did not realize I did that until recently. So yes, I definitely do the check mark for weird eye contact. As you can also see, I like to fidget, but that wasn't on my list this time. A third one is I have a very difficult time lying, fibbing, telling white lies, any untruths. I want to be as direct as possible. Even little things like my brain says it's a lie, but it's not really a lie. Somebody will ask what time it is, and it might be 2:52. And I want to say it's 2:52. I don't want to say it's do people say 2:45? Because it's already been past 2:45, so that doesn't make any sense. So I might round to 2:50, but it's not really 3 o'clock yet either. And so that drives me crazy. And you know, if somebody asks me if I like something that they're wearing, I've found ways to, and if I really don't like it, I've found ways to be polite, but I have to find ways to tell my own truth. I just can't lie. Like, it's very, very difficult, and I probably wouldn't be able to do it convincingly, I'm guessing. And number 4 on my list is I have a hard time setting boundaries and can be easily manipulated. And I think that also kind of comes to, well, I'm not going to say it's not really related to lying, but I don't ever want to disappoint anybody. And I guess the way I'll kind of tie into lying is because if somebody wants me to do something, if I don't have a legit, like, in my mind, excuse for not being able to do that thing, like, I can't really tell somebody, like, oh, no, you know, I'm busy, I've already got plans that day, if I, like, don't have any plans. So I will just do the thing, even if I don't want to, because it's really hard for me to say no and set boundaries, which is also apparently a common autistic trait for a lot of people. And the 5th one, I can be very trusting and naive. Oh my gosh, this one affected me a lot in high school. I was just super, super trusting. I believed what anybody would tell me. Memes on the internet get to me all the time. I will read something and I'll definitely have to go and check Snopes.com or some other source to verify, because sometimes my radar will be like, that doesn't sound right, but there's a little smidgen of me that will believe it until I can go verify it. So I think because I have such a hard time lying, it's hard for me to realize that. I mean, I know other people do, but it's still hard for me to, like, maybe spot lies as well. So I can be very trusting and naive. So there's a lot more on this list. Let me know if this is interesting. I might go over some more of the autistic traits that I have found that I relate to, and curious if you relate to any of these. And like I said in previous videos, right now I am self-diagnosed. I'm not questioning, because, like, I feel like I am, but I'm also the kind of person who wants it to be verified. So I do have an appointment coming up in a couple weeks to start the process for a formal diagnosis. I appreciate so much for you to click on this video. Make sure that you hit the like button so the algorithm knows to tell other people it might be useful information. And until the next one.